Do you like ancient castles? Well, this is a very special one. There are no ghosts who wail or rattle chains. There's nobody buried in the walls. But there is something that sets it quite apart. Something that happened in this very room centuries ago. As a matter of fact, it is still happening.
Mr. Physician, what is this message? How is Jamie?
Your son is dying, my lord.
Dying? How can he be dying? Jamie! Jamie, lad, what's this stupid old fool talking about? Oh, get up, Jamie. Come, we'll pull their foolish old beards and send them running. Jamie. Hey, lad. They told me you were the cleverest physician in all Europe. And this man's been with me for 20 years. And yet you stand here, the two of you in your velvet robes, like a couple of scrawny old women.
I have bled the boy 7 times with leech and lancet. I have used lotions and emetics and plasters.
If he's dying, you've done nothing. How could he be dying? My oldest son. My dearest son. How could he be dying? The Black Death could not kill him. It killed his mother. It killed his younger brothers, all except one. My daughter. But not Jamie.
Yes, he seemed a strong young man. At first, I was hopeful.
At first, I was hopeful. How can you stand there and take his death so lightly?
My lord.
Why is he dying?
I don't know, my lord.
You don't know?
At first, I thought it was a turgid condition of the blood.
You don't know? You calmly tell me he's dying. And you don't know why.
My lord.
You're a fraud.
I have treated princes and kings.
Oh, worse than a fraud. What are these?
My medicines, of course.
All your poisons. When you came here 12 days ago, my son was ill, but he wasn't dying.
Well,
What have you done with him?
my lord, I cannot accept such an insinuation. With my lord's permission, I will leave at once.
No, you will not, please. Stop him. What is this, a plot? A plot against me?
No, my lord.
Because of Jamie. Through Jamie. Do you hope to get at me? What have you been paid?
No!
Come on, tell me, what have you been promised? Very well. One thing I'll promise you. The day that Jamie is buried, each one of you will be buried.
I must remind my lord that I am under the protection of the Prince of Padua.
You are in my castle, Mr. Physician. The Prince of Padua is a long way away.
But I have done everything I could. This is so unfair.
Cat! Jamie! Cat! Cat! There, lads, rest now. Now take it easy. Take it easy.
In his delirium, he has called this woman's name constantly. I asked the servants. They say there was a young girl of that name living in your village for some months. They say the young man was most fond of the girl.
Most fond. Idle women's chatter. She was a pretty thing. She had a bright way with her. But she meant nothing to my son.
And yet he constantly speaks her name as he lies dying.
What has the girl got to do with it?
I think a great deal, my lord. Why did you send her away?
Her father was a wheelwright. He had completed his business in the village. He moved on.
The servants say otherwise.
And so, you would prefer to listen to the servants?
The boy will certainly die. I do not wish to be murdered, my lord. Why was the girl sent away?
I told Jamie to give her up. And he defied me. For the first time in his life, he defied me.
A loving son defying his father.
The girl had bewitched him.
My lord.
What are you trying to say?
How soon after the girl was sent away did the illness begin?
I don't know. A week, I suppose.
Scarce 3 days, my lord.
Well, if you know, why do you ask me?
For almost 30 years I have practiced my arts. I have cut for the stone successfully more than 100 times. I have cured the plague, even after the carbuncles appeared. I have trepanned into the skulls of princes, releasing the noxious vapors, and they have prospered. But, my lord, when I am faced with this... Mark the way he breathes, as though all the tubes in his body had been knotted. I have seen such agony before, my lord. In Naples, in Lausanne, in a village near Lyon. Each time the victim died. Each time I was helpless.
Why?
My lord just spoke the word.
What word?
Bewitched.
Are you trying to save yourself?
If you think so, kill me now, my lord.
She's just an ordinary girl. She's not a vagabond. She's not a gypsy.
In Geneva, I saw 2 children, aged no more than 10, and of a splendid merchant family, whose acts of witchcraft were beyond belief.
Oh. Jamie!
My lord.
No, Jamie!
It is not his physicians you must punish, my lord.
Find the girl. Bring her to me.
Liar! 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 Liar!
Silence!
Continue. I found her dancing in an open field. I came upon her suddenly. She didn't see me. It was a strange kind of a dance she did, the like of which I've never seen before. And as she danced, she laughed and uttered strange cries. And then the skies were full of clouds, and it started to rain. And I was terrible frightened.
I have danced many times, and I was always laughing. And why not? I was happy. I was in love, and I was loved.
The maid will remain quiet.
How could I not laugh and sing when Jamie loved me?
Silence!
No matter how many of his witnesses lie, I did not harm him. How could I harm my darling Jamie?
Tell the court all that you told me.
Well, my lord, I...
You told me she caused all the milk suddenly to turn sour.
She did.
And you saw imps flying in the air above her head.
On 2 occasions, my lord, I did.
And like all the other witnesses, didn't you see me whirl a cat in the air? I'd disappear after saying magic words.
My oldest son is lying dead. And the witch mocks me.
Catherine, with thine own hands, thou hast placed thy mark in the black book of perpetual death. Thou art a sorcerer and a witch. Now then, Catherine, hear the awesome sentence of this civil court. Thou shalt be remitted forthwith into the hands of the public executioner.
No!
To be taken to an open field, 100 rods from the castle gates. There thou shalt be bound to a wooden stake with leather thongs and burned.
No!
Take her!
Take you take him from me! And now you kill me!
Take her away!
As much as I loved him, that's how much I hate you! If it's true, if I do possess the power you see, I curse you! And I curse all that follow you and bear your name. Says Jamie, your firstborn son died before his father. So will it be in every generation!
Take her!
I
Take her away!
curse you!
Burn
I
her!
curse you!
Burn her!
I curse you! 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 I curse you!
When?
It's almost over, I'm afraid.
How much longer?
Who knows? About an hour, at the most.
Well,
Well, at least there's this to be said. That foolish superstition is finally being laid to rest. An oldest son is surviving his father. The Sunday papers will have to give up one of their favorite little tales.
Peter, if you could convince Will of that, it might save his sanity.
What?
Didn't you see his face
He's very devoted to the Earl. He's feeling great sorrow.
And even greater terror.
Oh, now, Harriet, don't let's start that.
I know him. He's my husband. He's absolutely certain that he has less than an hour to live.
Will's an intelligent man.
Oh, Peter, intelligence has nothing to do with it. He feels that you pass the sentence of death on him. Will? Will? Oh, Will, darling.
Leave me alone.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, Will.
Why the delegation? Can't I just be by myself?
Well, you left the sick room in such a state. Harriet was a little worried about you.
Now, look, Will, you really can't believe...
Can't I?
Will, darling, this isn't the Dark Ages. It's the 20th century.
Tell it to Uncle Francis and Great Uncle Peter. They both died in the 20th century.
Millions died in the war that killed Francis.
And thousands died of diphtheria in 1906, like Peter.
Yes, here.
And I suppose it's just one of those odd bits of chance that for 8 generations, the oldest
Well, it
son in his...
certainly wasn't because some stupid peasant girl cried out a curse, I'll tell you that.
Intellectually, I must believe you. Still, I'm absolutely certain that somehow, within the next hour, somehow, before my father dies, in the very best of health, at the tender age of 28, surrounded by my loved ones and my doctor, somehow I'm going to die!
This emotionalism is senseless. Now, look, Will, I'm going to prepare a sedative for you that will put you to sleep for a couple of hours.
No!
Don't tell me no. I'm your doctor.
Will, darling.
Go after him. Tell him I'll not take his sedative.
But, darling...
Do as I say!
Why, if it let you get some sleep?
Can't you imagine why? Don't you know what wonderful thoughts are whirling around in my head? How is young William to die? A bolt of lightning? There isn't even a cloud in the sky. Will I be run over by a train? Here, in my own house? Or will the roof fall in? It's managed to stay up there for 800 years.
Oh, Will, you aren't going to die.
Or will my doctor make a mistake? Prescribe the wrong medicine, the wrong dosage.
Will, you're breaking my heart.
Or will my darling wife become weary of her babbling husband and take a shotgun down from the wall and put him out of his misery?
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it, Will! Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling.
Tell him no sedative. Oh, and Harriet.
Yes.
Check with the airport again, will you? See if you can find any new information on when Jamie's plane is due. Little brother Jamie. An Earl at 22. Not bad, eh?
Oh, Will, for heaven's sake, stop.
Of course, I do feel a pang of sadness for his firstborn.
Nothing's going to happen.
Perhaps he'll live longer than I did. How is it possible? How can I die? How? How?
Lord William, are you all right?
Go away!
I told you to leave me alone.
Your father just died. It happened very quickly just a few minutes ago. There wasn't even time to call you to the bedside.
How's that possible? How can it be?
You see? The curse was childish nonsense.
I feel as if... I don't know. I feel as if I'd just been born again. I feel as if a ton of rock had been lifted from my chest. He's dead. He's really dead. I can't tell you what these last minutes have been like. Oh, God.
I know, darling, I know.
I've died 10,000 times in this room, Harriet. Suddenly, everything's all right. Everything's all right. Did you hear that? Did you hear what I said?
Oh, Will, darling.
My father dies, and all I can feel is infinite relief.
Oh, you poor darling, you've been through so much.
He's dead, and all I want to say is thank God.
There now. There. Come, sit down. Sit down, darling. Come on, sit down. There. Don't cry. Now that it's all over, the doctor can give you that sedative. You can get some sleep. All right?
Yes. I want to sleep.
Yes, you sleep.
Harriet, I loved him.
Oh, I know.
I loved him.
I know, darling. I know. I know. There now. Everything will be all right. Everything will be all right. There, darling. Back in a minute. There.
I'm working as fast as I can. Now just you relax, or I'll give you a shot, too. When he wakes up, he'll be all right.
I hope so. I hope I've done the right thing.
Of course you did the right thing. Poor chap's been under a strain enough to kill a horse.
Father, I didn't want you to die. It's just... I was so afraid. Forgive me, Father.
To him. I had to lie to him. He was suffering so. Oh, please, God. Oh, please, God.
And so it happened again. In 1951, William's younger brother opened the castle to tourists who come in droves to see the place where the firstborn son of each generation was cursed by a witch so many, many years ago. But certainly Catherine could not have been a witch. Certainly her trial was a farce. and her death a tragic injustice. But then why has her curse been so effective? Well, if we want to fall back on our old friend, coincidence, the odds on such a coincidence are 3 billion to 1. In any event, James, the present Earl of Culdain and William's younger brother, has never married. Curse or coincidence, the Culdain line will end with him. A clue about next week in 1 moment.
Catherine blocks the...
Tonight we escape to a remote section of Wales and a strange village between two worlds, as Algernon Blackwood described it in his eerie story, Ancient Sorceries. I had spent a week's vacation in Wales and was returning to London by train when it all began. It was late afternoon. We'd left the Welsh mountains and crossed the border into western England, passing through a countryside which appeared singularly empty, deserted of life. Over the soft hills and the valleys between hung a faintly perceptible haze, given to the whole landscape a feeling of enchantment and unreality. The train at length slowed down to a stop at a tiny wayside station. As it did so, a sudden thought occurred to me. Why not leave the crowded train with its irritating noises and spend the night in this peaceful spot, then take a slower and emptier train in the morning? On the impulse, I rose from my seat, and the man sitting opposite to me said,
Why, say, sir, we only stopped here for a minute or two. If you're thinking of walking about a bit...
No, as a matter of fact, I'm getting off here.
I thought you were going to London.
I'll go on in the morning. I'm going to stay here for the night.
I strongly advise you not to.
I beg your pardon?
This is the village of Malton.
Malton? I've never heard of it.
Few people have, outside. But if you place any value on your soul, you'll not spend the night here.
My dear sir, what are you talking about? Why not?
Because of the sleep. And because of the cats. That's all I can tell you.
You're insane. I'll take my bag if you don't mind.
You're making a terrible mistake. You may not even have the chance to regret it. Don't leave this train. I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, what utter nonsense.
Don't, I tell you.
Goodbye. I stood there on the embankment as the train pulled away. What in the world was the matter with the man anyway? Cats, sleep. His words made no sense. I picked up my bag and started walking up the long hill toward the village. And suddenly, for no reason at all, I shivered. Hello? Hello, is anybody here?
Yes?
Oh, I didn't see you at first.
Is there something I can do for you, sir?
Why, yes, I saw your sign outside, the Inn of the Golden Bough. I should like to get a room, please.
You're planning to stay here?
Why, yes.
Very well. You may sign the register. Here.
Thank you. I'm going to catch another train and go on in the morning.
Oh, yes, of course.
There we are.
Arthur Llewellyn. Llewellyn?
Yes, from London.
Arthur Llewellyn. You've been a long time coming back.
What?
But now that you're here, you'll find there are some things that never change.
Madam, I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about.
You rang, madam?
Where did you come from?
Dundreary, the gentleman would like a room for the night. His name is Arthur Llewellyn.
Aye, so it is. Welcome back to Malton, sir.
What? Why, I knew I'd never been here before. What was it all about? First the man on the train, and now these people. Were they crazy, or was I? I left the inn and walked along narrow cobbled streets, beneath quaint gables leaning out from the silent, shuttered houses, through dappled pools of light and shadow. It gradually dawned upon me that the village of Malton was centuries old, older than any town in England ought to be. And the people I passed now and then were dressed in the fashion of another day. They paid no attention to me. They went silently about their own business. Yes, that was it. That's what I'd been noticing. Silently. They came and went with only soft padding sounds to mark their passing, as though they walked in shoes with soles of velvet. When I stopped, there was no sound. The silence was unbroken. I hurried on through the streets and came at last to the far side of the village, to a place where the hill broke away sharply from a low, flat wall of stone, perhaps a rampart once. I sat down upon it, and the dreamy, lazy somnolence of the place stole over me. Presently, I don't know how much later, I became aware of the sound of weird music rising out of the vale below me. I looked down from the rampart. The sunken plain at the bottom melted away into a sea of gathering shadow, blurred in a swirl of thickening mist. I thought of dead trees swept by the night wind, of animals with half-human voices singing to a white moon, of the wailings of cats on the roof tiles at night, of unearthly creatures far off in the sky calling to one another in chorus. I felt my heart beat faster and faster, felt the vague stirrings of some urge inside of me, trying to answer the awful call of that music. I fought against the feeling, fought against myself. And even as I did, I found I was staring down into that valley, peering desperately into the dark mist, trying to see, I don't know what. And then suddenly, the music ended. I stood on the rampart alone, dusk fallen around me, and the early night wind moaned with a chill breath. Quick terror rose up in me. I turned and ran through the darkened streets, ran with my heart pounding, dodging its shadows, through one dim alley after another, and arrived at last panting and almost breathless at the door of the Golden Bower.
Been a long time returning, Mr. Llewellyn. It's past 7.
Oh, yes. I guess I walked farther than I meant to. I didn't realize it was so late.
You heard the music, didn't you?
Yes. Strangest music I've ever heard. But how did you know? Who plays it, anyway?
Then you didn't remember it?
No. Why should I? The thing was becoming irritating, this quiet insistence that I was someone else. I went in to my lonely dinner and ate as quickly as possible. Then, taking the candle Dundreary gave me, I crossed the lobby, climbed the stairs behind the desk, and walked past silent doors down the long empty hall that led to my room at the end. I was halfway to my door when suddenly the flame of my candle went out. I stood stock still in the pitch blackness, fumbling for a match. At that moment I knew that someone, or something, was there with me in the darkness. I held my breath and listened. There was no sound, no movement. I reached out and felt the wall and moved along it, feeling my way in the inky blackness. It was then I touched it. Near my face, another soft, warm, yielding, and alive. Who? What is it?
It is I, Ilsa.
And who?
Ilsa. Don't you remember me, Arthur?
No. No.
But wouldn't you like to remember me? Don't you want to see me again? To look at me? No?
I don't know.
But not tonight, Arthur. Perhaps tomorrow. Tomorrow.
I stumbled blindly through the door of my room and shut it behind me. I lit the candle and flung myself across the bed. The room was small, with one shuttered window, and the light of the flame flickered on the walls and ceiling. I stared at the hand that had touched her out there in the dark hall. I lifted it up to my face and smelled of the barbaric scent that still clung to my fingers. It was evil, maddening. The candle sputtered and burned, and the melted minutes dripped away. Who was I? Who were these people? Who was Ilse? I fell asleep finally, and dreamed of soft-moving creatures, and the silence of life in a dim, muffled world devoid of all feeling but ecstasy. And I dreamed, too, of cats.
Slept quite late this morning, Mr. Llewellyn.
Huh? Oh, morning, Dundreary. I felt as if I'd been drugged.
The night air here in Malton is very conducive to sleep.
I'd meant to catch the morning train for London. Now it's too late.
What a terrible shame.
Oh, by the way, Dundreary.
Yes, Mr. Llewellyn?
Do you, well, I was wondering if you'd know anyone by the name of Ilse.
Ilse happens to be my daughter, Mr. Llewellyn.
Oh, I didn't hear you come in.
I hope you were able to sleep well, without any unpleasant dreams.
I guess so.
I'm so happy to hear it. Perhaps then you may decide to stay with us for a long time.
That's very kind of you.
No, it isn't kindness, Mr. Llewellyn. But all of us are hoping that you may decide soon.
Decide? Decide what? It was no use. None of them would answer my questions. They seemed to think I should know already. I left the inn as soon as I'd eaten, walked around the streets of the village, and I began to notice that I was never completely alone. If I turned down an empty street, someone always stepped from a doorway or entered from the opposite end. Wherever I went, within 5 minutes, a dozen people were strolling near me. And I realized these people were watching me, tensely, as a cat watches a mouse or another cat.
It's quite fortunate you came back early, Mr. Llewellyn. Your dinner this evening is a rather special one.
Special? What do you mean by that?
You are to have a guest.
Huh? Who?
An old friend. She's coming now.
The girl who came toward us across the room was lithe and slim, and she moved with the sinuous grace of a young panther. She was lovely, exotic, and terrifyingly beautiful.
May I present Mr. Arthur Llewellyn, Miss Ilse? He's been with us for 2 days.
Yes, I know. My mother told me. May I sit down, Mr. Llewellyn?
Hmm? Oh, yes, please do. Here, permit me.
Thank you. You may sit, Andre.
Thank you, Miss Ilse.
Then you're Ilse?
Yes. Don't you remember me, Arthur?
From last night. It was you last night, wasn't it?
Yes. And other nights. Can't you remember all the other nights?
No. No.
Then we shall have to try that much harder. It's been such a very long time.
Please, Ilse, what is it all of you talk about? I don't understand any of it.
You will, Arthur. Unless you leave, of course. Weren't you planning to take a train to London in the morning?
Yes. No. No, I've changed my mind.
I'm glad you did. We'll try to make you happy here, my mother and I. And then perhaps you'll stay a long, long time.
No. I must leave for sure in a day or two.
Suppose we wait and see. And meanwhile, if there's anything you want, all you have to do is ask me.
All right. Why don't you tell me about...
Yes, Arthur? About what?
No. No, I don't want to know. I don't want you to tell me. Suddenly I realized I was afraid to know. Afraid. I should leave now, but I couldn't leave. It was Ilse. She attracted, repelled, fascinated, and horrified me, all in single flashes of blasting emotion. I felt the presence of a great gray curtain ready to roll back at any moment and leave me on the brink of an awful adventure. I knew the village held its breath, watched and waited, and then on the evening of the 5th day, the whole ghastly secret exploded into hideous life. After dinner, Ilse had asked me to walk with her. It was the first time I'd been outside the inn after dark. We walked through the village in the moonlight, saying little, and came finally to the stone rampart above the sunken plain. We were quite alone.
Look, Arthur.
Hmm?
It's a full moon tonight. Do you know what that means?
Yes. It means I can see more clearly how beautiful you are.
Do you really believe that? Do you think I'm beautiful?
Like a soft, sleek leopard in a warm jungle of shadows. But wait, I'll see you even better in a moment.
Arthur, what are you doing?
These dry leaves by the wall will make an excellent bonfire. There, you see?
No. No.
What's wrong?
The fire. No, Arthur, put it out.
All right, Ilse. There, don't worry. It's all right. But I had a chance to get started. There, you see, it's all out.
Yes, I see.
Ilse, why did it bother you so much?
Don't you remember? Don't you remember the fire?
No. What fire?
Oh. No. Don't talk of it. Look at me instead. Look at me, Arthur.
Yes, Ilse.
Arthur, do you love me?
Yes. Yes, Ilse, I love you. I love you and I want you.
I'm glad. That means you'll come back to us then?
I don't know what you mean, Ilse.
You can know everything. Tonight, if you want to.
Yes, I do.
You must know a part of it already. Down inside. You must remember some of it, don't you?
Yes. It's like something buried for centuries inside of me, and now it's beginning to come alive.
Let it come alive. Don't fight against it. You belonged to us once long ago, and you still belong.
Yes. I seem to know that.
That's why you came back. You heard them calling. You heard me calling. And you came seeking the old life again.
Yes. But Ilse, I'm afraid.
Are you afraid of me? Look at me.
Ilse.
Kiss me.
Ilse.
Will you live the old life again with me tonight?
Yes.
I've known that you would because I own you, Arthur. You belong to me and I want you, and I shall never let you escape from me again.
Yes.
Go back to the inn then. Wait for me, Arthur. I shall come for you. Tonight.
Back at the inn, I paced the floor of my room. a tense, uncontrollable excitement driving me along in a nervous frenzy. The dry crypt of memory broke open, and all the things I'd hidden away for centuries poured into my consciousness. I knew now why I'd come here. I knew what I was going to do. And I knew that I was lost. I sensed the rising stir of movement throughout the inn, and outside in the courtyard below my window. I knew what to expect when I threw open the shutter. From every window of the inn and from those of the houses about the court were leaping great monstrous beasts with soft dark fur and eyes that gleamed with eerie phosphorescence. Cats of human size. This then was the secret of Malton, lycanthropy, the witchcraft of centuries long dead and buried. The half-human cries floated up to me, and the moon cast their dark shadows on the ground as they padded across the courtyard and vanished through the narrow streets of the village, heading for a hideous rendezvous. This is what I'd been. This is what I wanted to be now. I scarcely heard the door of my room open behind me.
Are you ready, my love? Shall we join them?
Ilsa.
Here, Arthur, the sacred balm, made of vervain and mistletoe and blind things out of the sea. Remember?
Yes. Yes, I remember.
Take it. Use it. We'll change now, transform, leap from the window and join them. Lead us again, Arthur.
Yes, but not here, Ilsa, not yet. Wait until we get there. Then we'll change.
If you wish. Come then, Arthur, to the stone wall above the grove. That's where we'll change, on the stone rampart.
In the grove, on the sunken plain beneath the wall, insane shadows writhed in the moonlight and postured in the luminous mist. 1,000 of the Devil's Own were dancing in the unearthly music born from the harmony of the black sacrifice, crying out in delirious abandon, calling to the thing that now lived inside of me, and struggled, screaming in my skull, trying to answer them back. I fought against them, fought against Ilsa, pleading and clinging with her soft arms about my neck.
Now, Arthur, come with me now if you love me.
I love you, but I can't do it. I can't do it. Not again.
Yes, my love, only an instant to change, and then we'll live forever.
Is it living without a soul,
Does
Ilsa?
it matter when I'm here?
No, once before I escaped, but I can never escape again. This time there'd be no turning back.
Am I not worth it? Look at me, my love.
I clung to the very edge of my sanity, fought that I would not be lost and damned forever, and at this moment I knew what I could do.
Arthur, wait. What are you doing?
I found a match in my pocket, struck it, dropped it into the dry leaves that lay banked across the whole length of the stone wall.
No. No, Arthur, don't.
Yes.
I can't come to you through the fire. You're driving me away.
Yes! Go, Ilsa, go into the valley. Goodbye, Ilsa! Goodbye!
You fool! You fool!
I turned from the wall of flame that for a few minutes would shut me off from the valley, ran through the moonlight streets, not back toward the Inn of the Golden Bower, but down the long road that led away from that cursed village of Malton.
Well, Mr. Llewellyn, I find this one of the most interesting cases of hallucination I've encountered since I began the practice of psychiatry.
I tell you, it really happened, Doctor.
And having investigated your story a bit during the past week, I'm in a position now to answer most of the questions that have been worrying you since you came back to London.
What do you mean, investigated?
I went up to Hereford and looked over some of the old records there. Then I motored over to Malton for a couple of hours.
Well, then you know it's all true. You saw it. You know I was there.
Oh, there's no question but what you were there, Mr. Llewellyn. The lady who runs the inn showed me your name in the register. Said you left suddenly without taking your luggage or paying your bill. She was really quite put out.
I see. Well, what of the records, Doctor? The ones you spoke of?
I think they really explain the whole thing, Mr. Llewellyn. It seems that during the 14th century, The village of Malton became a kind of headquarters in that part of the country for the practice of witchcraft.
Yes. Yes, go on.
Numerous trials were held there in the late 1300s, and a great many men and women were convicted of sorcery and burned to death.
Yes?
In the records of a trial in 1372, I found the name of an Arthur Llewellyn and of Ilse and her mother.
That proves it, then.
It proves a clear case of hallucination. You knew that story before you went there, not consciously, but somewhere deep in your latent memory.
I knew nothing about it before.
That man was an ancestor of yours. The story must be known in your family. When you arrived in Malton, accidentally, the association of the name just pulled the trigger, and your imagination did the rest.
Yes, but Doctor, my parents died when I was 4. I've never been around any of my family ever.
No matter. You see, a childhood memory is amazingly persistent at times.
I suppose it is. I knew then what I had to do. The only thing I could do. There'd be no use in talking further with the doctor. He'd find some phrase of science to cover everything. He'd even try to explain away the mark I still carried across my shoulder where Ilse had thrown her arm about me in those last mad minutes on the rampart. A mark that was covered with soft gray fur like the fur of a cat. I knew now what had to be done, and what must be done while I still retain my sanity. One last act, final and irrevocable. An act that begins by walking into the railway station at Charing Cross.
Good evening, sir. May I help you?
Yes. I'd like a ticket to Malton, please.
Malton? I don't believe I...
It's a little village on the Swansea line near the border of Wales.
Oh, yes. Here it is. I don't believe I've ever sold a ticket to Malton before.
I don't doubt it.
Let's see. 4 and 6, single fare, first class. Did you wish a return trip, sir, or one way? What did you say?
Oh, I'm sorry. Make it one way.
Escape is produced and directed by William N. Robeson. And tonight brought you Ancient Sorceries by Algernon Blackwood, adapted for radio by Les Crutchfield, with Paul Frees as Arthur Llewellyn, Kay Brinker as Ilse, Ann Morrison as Madam, and William Conrad as the Doctor. Music is conceived and conducted by Cy Fuhrer. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
know the road to Colburn. I was separated from my regiment at Arstadt. Do you have any drinking water? I'm very thirsty.
Clear water from the mountain.
Thank you. Hello. I'd like a word with you. You never said goodbye to me. In fact, you never even said hello. It isn't an act of treason to talk to me. I'm a weary, disillusioned soldier, and you're the only pleasant sight that I've seen in 7 months. Go ahead, it's permitted for you to laugh. Wait, you haven't told me your name.
My name's Elaine. Come on, I want to show you something.
What's wrong?
Rest yourself, young man. You're safe here. Here, take this for your strength. God knows help is a very rare thing in this forest. Take it whenever it's offered to you.
That bird. He attacked me.
I'm afraid you're wrong. She's quite harmless. Here. Hold out your arm. She only seems dangerous. Actually, she's very affectionate, which is very unusual for a bird.
Take it back.
Oh, that is too bad. Little girl liked him, didn't you? This is Gustav. He brought you here. Gustav fed your horse.
Where is Helene?
This is Helene.
No, not the bird. The girl. Where is the girl?
There is no girl.
Of course there's a girl. I saw her. She spoke to me.
Perhaps you were tired from your long journey and had a pleasant illusion. Gustav, have you ever seen a girl here? Gustav sometimes imagines things. If he could speak, I think we would find that his mind is warped. Such is the will of God, to endow and deprive. The only thing of beauty you'll find in this forest is Helene.
Hello. I was afraid you'd drowned. So you are real. I started to think. Who are you? quicksand. The girl was trying to kill me.
She knows not what she does. Her will is not her own.
You mean she's insane?
Possessed. She needs your help.
Help? How can I help her?
The castle of the Baron von Lepp. You will find her there. I can say no more. There's great danger. Find Eric. Eric knows.
The ride to Colbin is long and far safer by day. If you leave now, you can rejoin your regiment by dusk.
Where is Gustav?
What do you want him for?
I want him to show me where the castle of the Baron von Lepp is.
No one's lived in the castle for years. And besides, Gustav has gone away for a few days.
Perhaps you'd show me the way to the castle.
Why are you so interested in the Baron?
I never said that I was. But the girl that I followed last night and spoke to, I believe that she lives there.
Told you. There is no girl.
That is nonsense. You recognize her, don't you?
No.
I'll find the castle myself.
No, wait!
Don't go to the castle. I have told you the truth. There is no girl. Mark me, you are getting yourself into things beyond your understanding. Leave now, while you can.
I intend to find her.
Please don't tell the Baron that I am here.
Hello? Is anyone here? Hello? It's me, Andre. In the name of the government of France, I order you to open this door.
Your pardon, young sir. I was at my devotions. I did not hear you.
I'm sorry, sir, but surely I made enough noise to awaken the dead.
The government of France. I've seen the uniforms of many governments in my time. What would a soldier of France be wanting here?
Shelter, for one thing. Permit me to introduce myself, Lieutenant Andre Duvalier, 5th Chasseur.
Baron Victor Frederick von Lepp. I suggest you will find better shelter at the village inn.
Thank you, Baron, but I've had my fill of village inns. Surely you wouldn't want to inconvenience a French officer.
Come in. What you see, Lieutenant, are the remains of a noble house. Relics, ghosts of past glories.
A noble heritage is something to be proud of, Baron. I'm afraid we've forgotten that in France.
Ah, yes. Your name, Duvalier, your family.
My father was the Comte de Valier. Was until they spilled his head into a basket one morning in the Place de la Concorde.
Forgive me for reviving painful memories. You must be cold and tired, Lieutenant. Some cognac?
I'd like that, Baron. Thank you.
Sit down. Stefan?
Yes, Baron.
Cognac for our guest.
Yes, Baron.
Baron, I wonder if I might ask, who was the young woman I saw in the window before you came to the door?
Young woman? Oh, I'm afraid you're mistaken.
No, I'm not mistaken. I saw her. Dark hair and eyes, about 20.
Well, I'm quite sure you think you saw someone, but...
Baron, I am in full possession of my faculties.
Please, allow me to show you something. You should never believe everything your eyes tell you, young man. Is that the girl you think you saw?
Yes, of course.
Before you say anything else, examine the portrait closely, the signature, and above all, the date.
$1786? But that's 20 years ago. It's incredible. It's the same girl, and she hasn't changed a bit.
She has been dead for 20 years.
With all respect, Baron, for a ghost, she's a very active young woman.
You're speaking of the Baroness von Lepp, my wife.
I beg your pardon, Baron. I meant no offense. Perhaps the resemblance was not quite as much as I had thought. The girl at the window...
Lieutenant Duvalier, the only occupants of this castle are Stefan and myself. You are the first visitor since the turn of the century.
Of course, Baron.
Stefan will see you to your room.
Thank you.
Hello down there! I'm coming down. Wait for me! All right, unlock this door. Do you hear me? Unlock this door, I'm gonna shoot through the door.
Kept through the shadows, sir. He did not see me. He's a strange one, though. He showed no fear.
Well, he must leave at once.
You think perhaps he's not merely a traveler?
Why do you say that?
He might have heard things in the village.
Oh, nonsense. He's a soldier. He doesn't listen to old wives' tales. The important thing is that he leave with all due speed.
I shall see to it, sir.
But of his own accord. We must show him the respect his position and rank demand. Outwardly.
I understand, sir. So, must you intrude on the dead as well as the living?
If I intrude, Stefan, I shall leave it to my host to so inform me.
Why have you come to Castle Von Lepp? What do you want here?
You seem to have things strangely confused in your mind. You're the servant, not I. I'll ask the questions. This was once a place of worship. Why have the holy objects been removed?
The Baron ordered it. When his wife, the Baroness Ilsa, passed away.
Then this became her tomb?
No, just the entrance to it. The Von Lepp family crypt lies below, beneath the cemetery. She rests there with 4 centuries of Von Lepps. That's been sealed for 20 years.
Nonsense. It must have been open last night. The girl must have passed through here.
As the Baron told you, sir, there is no girl.
No girl. Well, we shall see. Come with me to the stable, Stefan. I wish to attend to my horse.
Wait, Lieutenant. That's what I came to tell you. Your horse is gone. Apparently it bolted during the night.
Impossible. You're lying. Why?
No, sir, I'm not lying.
Hear me well, Stefan. I'm sick of all of these lies. First the old woman, then the Baron, and now you.
The old woman, you mean?
Never mind. What about my horse?
I shall get you another one from the village at once, sir. Believe me, Lieutenant, I have no desire to interfere with your departure from this castle.
You seem very anxious to be rid of me. Is it because you're afraid I might find out about Eric?
Eric?
So there is an Eric. That at least was not a lie.
Lieutenant, please, don't involve yourself in these dead matters. There is nothing here but an old man and his decaying memories. I beg of you, leave him in peace.
Will you join me, Lieutenant?
No, thank you, Baron. I've just come from the stables. My horse is gone.
Your horse is gone?
Yes, I believe it was stolen, Baron.
Oh, impossible, Dick. The stable door perhaps was left open and the animal bolted. Not an unusual thing.
In itself, no. But there are certain other mysteries I would like to have explained, Baron, and I mean to have them explained.
How dare you take that tone with me?
I don't mean to be abrupt, but I will have answers.
Well?
Now, why did you remove the portrait of the Baroness from the wall?
I sent it away for renovation. The dampness of these walls puts a mold on the pigment.
You evade very cleverly, Baron. Can you also explain the violin music and the girl in the chapel last night?
You saw her again?
So you admit there's a girl?
Ilsa.
Ilsa, is that her name? Answer me, Baron.
Please, please, leave me in peace,
If I leave you now, Baron, I will come back with a company of my men, and I will tear this place down around your ears until I find her. Is that clear?
Very clear.
All right, now, what happened to the Baroness? Was her death violent?
Yes, her death was violent.
How did she die?
You spare me nothing. 20 years ago, I was not the man you're looking at now. This land, this estate prospered. My people lived well and were happy. My wife had died some years before, and I was lonely. Then, one day in the village, I saw Ilsa, a peasant girl who'd come to live there with her mother. Oh, I could have taken her. Nobles have taken the daughters of peasants since the beginning of time, but I loved her, and she became the Baroness von Lepp. Almost immediately afterwards, I was called away for military service, a rebellion in the Polish province. I was gone for nearly a year. When the fighting was over, I hurried home to my bride. No one knew of my coming. Surprised her in her room. She was not alone. She laughed at me, said her bed was not for me to find another. With my own hands, I killed her.
And her lover?
Stefan took care of him. Later, I gave out a story that she had died of some malaise. No one ever knew of her betrayal of me, or how, in fact, she did die.
Except for Stefan.
For 20 years, I've not set foot beyond the walls of this castle. I've lived here alone with the memory of the dreadful thing I did that night. That is my penance.
And now you believe what? That the ghost of Ilsa has come back to relieve you of your penance? Is that it?
Yes.
How long has the spirit been coming to the castle?
It all began 2 years ago. At first I was terrified, but now I'm eager for our every meeting.
One more question, Baron. Has anyone else except yourself seen the spirit? Stefan, for instance.
You think I'm mad, don't you?
Right now, Baron, I'm not sure just what I think.
But don't forget, you saw her too. Perhaps we're both mad.
Ilsa. The name sounds strange to me here by the sea.
It is your name. Don't you remember?
My name is Helene. The old woman told me.
She lies.
She summoned me from the sea.
You must go back. Your soul is troubled, Ilsa.
Go back? To Eric?
To the sea.
Only when the sea enters the crypt. We shall rest there together, he and I, beneath the sea.
It is an evil thing. You must not do it, Ilsa.
I must obey the old woman.
The Frenchman, he can help you, Ilsa.
Andre? The old one calls. She warns you, Gustav. Do not interfere. She's been patient with you long enough, but no more.
Tetragrammaton, tetragrammaton. Metroton usagla. Metheos sabayoth. O powers of darkness, let the spirit of Ilsa sink deeper, deeper into this mortal form. Helene, be as though you never were. Spirit of Ilsa, see through these eyes. Speak through these lips. Do my bidding. For only then shall you find release from your torment. You are becoming stronger now. Quite strong. Soon you shall have the strength to carry out my vengeance. Vengeance. And the dark powers will set you free, for I have promised them a richer prize.
Good afternoon.
Who are you?
An appropriate question, but I'm afraid I'm the one who should be doing the asking. I'm invited in, of course.
What do you want of me?
You realize that this is the property of the Baron Victor von Lepp? And that is forbidden for any of the villagers to set foot here, much less make it their home? How long have you been living here?
Only 2 months.
Perhaps I should tell you. You see, I've just come from Kleinschmidt, where you are not totally unknown. You've lived here slightly more than 2 years. Your name is Katerina, and you originally come from Colburn, where you were quite unpopular because of, certain activities. They call you Katerina the heretic, the witch.
They were fools.
Why do you live here? What do you want?
I haven't any money. This was the only place that wasn't burned to the ground, so I brought my things in here.
Where did you find the girl?
Is no girl.
I saw her. She was sitting in this chair.
There is no girl.
I know what she is. Old woman, I know what she is. Listen to me, and listen to me very carefully. I don't know what you want, nor do I fully understand your black abilities. But if the two of you have not returned to Colburn within one night, I shall come back here and kill you with my own hands, and burn this place to the ground once and for all.
And you know who once lived here all those years ago?
You know who lived here?
Eric.
Is the Frenchman gone?
No.
Why not?
He now refuses to leave. I don't think he will leave of his own accord.
He must. I gave you definite orders.
Baron, no one knows this officer is here. If he should never arrive in Copeland.
Are you suggesting that...
It's the only way.
That I will never countenance. God knows I have enough upon my conscience without the senseless murder of a young man who never harmed me.
How do you know what harm he plans? You want him wandering around the castle? Do you want him down in the crypt?
Enough. The crypt is no concern of yours. What is the meaning of this intrusion?
I'm sorry, Baron. I thought I heard voices.
Does that give you the right to burst into my room unannounced?
I beg your pardon, Baron.
Stefan has gone to the village to get you another horse. It will save us both embarrassment if he will leave the moment he returns.
There can be no doubt of it, sir.
Ilsa?
You're doing the best thing, Lieutenant. The Baron often does things which may seem strange to you and me, but the death of the Baroness was a severe shock to him. One from which I fear he has never fully recovered.
I understand completely, Stefan. Tell me something, Stefan.
If I can.
Who is Eric?
You recall the Baron spoke of returning from the war and finding the Baroness with another?
Yes.
Eric was that other.
Wait! Wait!
Gustav.
She has seen you. She loves you. You must help her. Tonight, her soul cries out for release. Go back.
I've waited for you so long.
I've been searching for you, to help you, but you wander in strange places at strange hours.
You're really here.
Of course I'm here. And I'll never leave you again.
Never. When the night comes, I get cold. My arms and my shoulders get cold. I don't like the night. I want to be free of it.
You are free.
Only in here, in this holy place.
No. Everywhere with me. You must come away with me now.
No, I can't. Not until
Until what?
the crypt. It must be destroyed. And with it, the dead.
Don't speak of the dead anymore. You're with me now.
I am possessed of the dead.
You're a warm, living woman. Who has told you these things?
The dead.
In Paris, they're doing wonderful things to discover the nature of the mind. I'll take you there. There are doctors who can free you from this.
From the dead.
The dead cannot reach out from the grave. You must come away with me now.
No. I'm afraid. The night.
There's nothing to be afraid of. You see? Love me and there is no fear.
Yes, Andre. I do love you.
Then come away with me. Wait here. It's all right.
Ilsa, my love, you are not alone. I am here with you now. Soon I will join you in eternal sleep. Stefan will flood the crypt and seal us here together with our love. Ilsa. 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 Why do you not talk to me?
I am here, Victor. I've been waiting for you.
My love. My love.
You know what you must
No.
do.
Anything I will do that I dare not. Do not ask me, I beg of you.
You must, or we can never be together.
No, I cannot, I dare not.
Look at me, Victor.
Ilsa, why do you torment me so?
You must do it, Victor. Only then can we be together. Only then, Victor.
I cannot. I dare not. My soul will be damned to eternal perdition.
Let me see who you really are.
No! Don't go back! You must not! No!
Let me go! What kind of a woman are you? Where are you? Who are you? Helene! Is there a doctor in the village?
His illness is not of the flesh. I've seen this before. In a day or two, his mind will return. We can only wait.
The Baron tells me you've been with him since the Polish campaign.
That is true.
Then you must have been in this castle for 20 years. You must know every section of the estate. He's regaining consciousness.
No. He often moans during these seizures.
You have keys. Fetch them. I'd like to see the chapel.
The chapel?
Yes, if you don't mind.
The hinges are rusted solid.
Do you have a crowbar?
Yes, come with me.
What is it?
That light there. That's the Baroness's bedroom in the tower. The room's been sealed ever since that night. Not even the Baron would enter.
Come with me.
Where's the key? Only the Baron has the key to this lock. Lieutenant, don't! If the Baron should find out we've entered this room,
Baroness have a child?
I don't know. I never thought she did.
You spare me nothing.
Baron, if you'll permit me, I think that I can explain.
Stefan.
Forgive me, Baron. I only meant
Stefan! Take this gun. Escort this gentleman from the castle. If he resists, kill him.
Yes, Baron. Lieutenant.
My love. My love.
I am here, Victor.
I'm weary, Ilsa. My soul cries out for relief.
There is but one way, Victor.
No. The holy covenants of God forbid it.
You will be forgiven.
Be sure.
Take your life as you took mine. Let your own hand destroy you and bring us together forever. Forever. No more torment, Victor. Forever. Forever.
I will, Elsa. I will.
I promise you, Lieutenant. If you return to Von Lepp Castle, I shall not hesitate to kill you.
Where is she?
Let me be.
Why did you lie to me about the girl? Call it off.
Doesn't matter now. You're too late. Tonight he damns himself. Yes, even now she taunts him to his own eternal doom.
You control the girl just as you control that bird. How? Mesmerism?
Mesmerism, you fool.
Why? Answer me, old woman, or I'll break your neck.
To avenge myself on the Baron von Lepp. She will drive him to God's one unpardonable sin. Suicide.
For what offense? What has the Baron done to you?
He killed my son, Eric.
Eric was your son?
Yes. And tonight the Baron pays for Eric's life with his own immortal soul.
She spoke of destroying the crypt.
Too late. Too late.
Baron, you mustn't go down.
the Baron?
We must get to him. He's locked himself in the crypt.
Eric is avenged.
Eric avenged?
She's used the girl as a puppet to drive the Baron to suicide.
But why?
She thinks it was the Baron that killed her son. She never knew it was you.
What do you mean? He killed my Eric.
Eric is her son?
You murderer!
No, wait! Don't you see now it was all a lie? The Baron did return that night to find Eric with the Baroness, and he did kill her. But there was a struggle, and in the fight, it was not Eric who died, but the Baron. I killed the Baron.
Then Eric is still alive?
He took the Baron's place, and for 20 years, no one has known. But he took the Baron's place in mind as well as body. In his mind, he is the Baron von Lepp.
The crypt. She's told him to flood the cellars. Now they'll both be killed. Eric!
Flood the cellars? How?
There's a tunnel that leads from the sea to the crypt.
Come with me.
He's locked it from the inside.
You keep on here. I'll try and get in through the chapel.
I may need you.
No, not the chapel. I may not enter the house of God. I have made my pact with another. No closer! No!
Years of my love, this time forever.
Now, Victor. Now. I am waiting.
Hurry, Victor, hurry.
Now, Victor, bring the sea into the crypt to mantle us forever. We will be together again, Victor. Together with our love here beneath the sea. Come to me, my love. Draw the veil. Look at me. And see how eagerly I await your embrace.
What have you done to me?
I have damned you as you damned me. The part of me that loved you lies there, Victor, rotting in the coffin. Look at it. See what your evil love has done to me and die with that vision in your brain.
Why have you done this to me?
I am the spirit of Ilsa that your unholy sin gave over to the dark powers. But now, by giving your immortal soul to them, I will be free, Eric.
You're safe now. It's over. It's over. Do you understand? You're free now.
Free? Andre.
so tired, telling you I got a miss. She's my witch, lovable, she's good and bad. Mess around and you've been had. Got a key and a nasty switch. She's my witch. Likes to rock to a crazy song. Every night she's a waiting on. She's a chick with a wicked twitch. She's my witch. Likes to drag in a going mill. Play the chicken just for the thrill. Till you wind up in a ditch. She is my